Okay, so let's try the next coding exercise. Open the leetcode.com and go to the problems tab and search here question number 238. So the question is product of array except it's except self. So click on it. So let's read the question. So given an integer array num, so we have some arrays given, so which is perfectly okay. Return an array, so we need to like also return an array. So array is given and we need to return an array. So list is given and we need to return the list. Fine. Such that answer of I. So the list is answer. So answer of I. So basically the output array, the first index or the ith index is equal to the product of all the elements of the nums except nums of I. So as an example, so if you took this nums array 1, 2, 3, 4, so one array is given, we need to return another array, but array of I. So if we scan this array, so first is ith index. So if you read the question, so, answer of I is equal to the product of all the elements of num except this. So we need to take the product of all the elements except that particular element where we are updating. So if we are updating the first index, so the value should be the product of remaining elements. So 4 to 12, 12 to 24. Now, if we are updating second index, then the product will be 4 to 12 and 12 and 12. So because we have to skip that particular index. Now, if we are updating the third index, on this index 3, so the output will be 4 to the 8 and 8 on the 8. And then the last index. So we have to ignore the last index and we need to do the product of all the elements. So 3 to the 6 and 6 on the 6. So that is the output array. So how we are going to do that? So if you just read this question, only this part, then you can say, oh, it's very easy question. You can run two loops and then we can do that question. So as an example, so what we can do is we can run two. So let's go to the whiteboard. So here we can run two loop. So when we are here, right, so we can run a loop from here to here, right, and do the all the products and update here. Okay, when we are here, see, okay, 1 minute. So me let me remove this. So basically what we will do, when you are here, you will run a loop from here to here and you will ignore this element. When you are here, again you are going to run the loop till here to here, but you are ignore this element. So when you are here, again you are going to run this loop to here, but you are ignore this element. So in this way you can update that. So let's try this brute force approach. So don't think about like whether they want to use the further follow up things. So we need answer array, right? Because we need answer array, so we can take that. Okay, so we can take the answer array. Yeah, fine. Now, so we need to run a to loop for I in range of for I in range of. So we can take the answer array as 1 minute. So n is equal to length of nums, and we can take answer arrays of n length. Fine. So for I in range of n, for j in range of n. So we are running a to loop, and what we have to do is we have to update our result of I with how we are going to update. So if we go here, so how we are going to update. So we have to do the product of all the elements, right? So when we are here, so like so the set so when we are here, the inner loop is going till here to here. So we have to product all the elements. So we will first product this, then we store some element, then we product this, then we product this as well, right? So the same thing we have to do. So not result, answer of I. Answer of I is equal to answer of I star nums of I. Alright. But if you do that, will we get the our correct answer? So if you return answer. So we will get the wrong answer. So if you run that, so spelling is wrong. Answer. So we will get the wrong answer. And why we get the wrong answer? Because for the okay, so for the one we need like 2, 3, 4, and 4, 3, 3 to 6, 6, 4, 24. So we need the 24. So we are getting the wrong answer. So what we have to do basically? Okay, so here it should be J. It should be J. Okay, yeah, it should be J because we are like producing the element. But as I told you, we have to skip this element. If we are here, then we have to skip this element. And if we are here, then we have to skip this element. If we are here, then we have to skip this element. So what you can do is, so you can put the if condition. So if I not equal to J, then you have to do the multiplication. Then you run it. So now you could see like we are getting the correct answer. All right. Now if you try to submit it, so you could see it is taking a lot of time because we are taking two loops and only 18 test cases has been passed out of 22 test cases, right? So this approach is not going to be work. So the approach is like the brute force approach. So we were running a two loop. So uh, one to scan all the elements, 1, 2, 3, 4, and one is to do the product for all the elements, and we have to skip that particular element when the I and j is equal. So here when the I and j is equal, we are skip. So here when the I, so when the I and j like here we have to skip this element. So this approach is not being accepted. Uh, in our answer. Okay, so what is the another approach? So the another approach you can think about this. So what you can do is we can take the product of all the elements. We can take the product of all the elements. So 4 3 are 12, 12 2 are 24. So we get the 24. Now what we can do is we will scan only one row. We will run only one loop. So we are here. If we are here, because we don't need this element, so we are going to divide by that element. So 24 by 1, 24. So we don't need this element, we are going to divide by that. So 24 by 2, 12. We don't need this element, then we are going to divide. So 24 by 3, like 8. We don't need this element, then we are going to divide by that element because this index contains like a whole the product of all the sums, but we don't need 4, so we can divide. So 24 by 4, 6. So let's try that. So whether this is going to work or not, let's try that. So first we need the product of all the elements, right? So let's calculate. So we need the answer array first. Answer array, answer is equal to, you can say, answer array, and n is equal to length of nums. So we need total product. Total product is one initial, and we can run a loop for num in nums, and total product is equal to total product slash num. So we are basically adding all, multiplying all the elements. Now we multiply all the elements. Now we know the product. So the product is 24. Now what we have to do? We have to scan all the elements. So for I in a range of n, what we have to do? We are going to update our uh, this index. So I star n. So now we are going to update our output array, or you can say the answer array. So answer array would be total product, whatever the total product, divide by nums of I, divide by nums of I. So 24 divided by 1, 24. 24 divided by 2, 12. 24 divided by 3, 8. 24 divided by 4, 6. So we are updating. Then we can return the answer array. But is it going to work? So let's try that. So, okay, here it should be 1. So you could see we are getting the error zero division error or integer division or modulo by zero. Why? Because if you see our second example, for this example this probably going to work, but for our second example this is not going to work. So even if you go here and if you run test cases and you can remove this and you can run it. So for our first test case, it is working. But for our second test case, minus one, zero. So for our second test case, so where num is minus one, zero, -3, and 3. It's not going to work. It is giving the like zero division array, output array, right? Because why? So let's look at this example. So let's do all the product. So if we do all the product, our product is zero. So for the first element, 0 divided by minus 1, 0. For the second element, 0 divided by 1, 0. For the third element, 0 divided by 0, 0. For the fourth element, -3 divided by 0. Basically, sorry, 0, 0 divided by minus 1, like 0. 0 divided by 1, 0. 0 divided by 0, nothing. So it should be like, or even you can say 0. 0 divided by -3, 0. 0 divided by 3, 0. So we can get all 0 as an output. Or maybe 0 divided by 0 here we might get the error because something divided by 0 is undefined. All right. But for this case, what is our expected output? Our expected output, we don't need to like uh, include this and we have to multiply remaining. So 3 3s are 9 minus 9 into 1 minus 9 into minus 1 9. So actual output is 9. But if we do this, what we are doing is we are taking the total product. So we take the total product 0. Now we are scanning all the elements. We are scanning all the elements. Whatever the current index, we are just like dividing by that because we don't need that. But in case of 0, it is not working. In case of 0, it is not working. So now you can say to make it work. So what you have to do to make it work, what you have to do? Okay, you can put some kind of logic. If nums of I not equal to 0, then you can like do this. Else you can do like this is equal to total product. So let's run it. So here, so what is wrong? So if nums of I not equal to 0, then we are dividing. Then we are dividing. Okay. So again, like we are getting wrong because we are skipping that modulus. Earlier we are getting error like zero division error. Now we skip that error. We skip that error by putting this if nums of I not equal to 0. But if nums of I not equal to 0 for like at this position, what should I update? Because I have the product of all the elements. I don't have the product of uh like a remaining like all the element except 0. Okay, now you can argue one thing. Okay, when we are calculating the product, so let's calculate the total product for all the elements excluding when the element is not 0. So if num not equal to 0, then we are taking the product. So now you can run it. So I forgot to add the words. Okay, 1 second. So when 1 second is not equal to 0, then we are taking the total product. So what is the total product? Let me print. So total product is 9, which is perfectly fine. So what is the issue? Now what we have to do is, so total product is 9. Now what we are doing is, if nums of I not equal to 0, then we are updating the total product. So we are getting again error, because now our total product is 9. And so for this element earlier, at this index where I highlighted, all right. So earlier at this index, I am getting the wrong output, but at this index, I am now getting the correct output. But for the remaining index, I am getting the wrong output. So what I can do? So now to solve this question, so what we have to do? We have to count the number of zero, because there could be two zero as well. Because if there is a two zeros, then wherever we are, it should be zero. Wherever we are, it should be zero. If there is a one zero, then we have to so we have to basically count the number of zero. So we have to count the number of zero. So zero count. So this is basically again, even though we don't will follow this approach, because they have in the follow-up question, not in the follow-up question, within the question itself, they said don't use the division operator, even though we are using the division operator. But like I am telling, let's suppose you have to solve this question by like hit and trial method. Then how you are going to do? So first approach, I already told you to do the brute force approach, which works for us, but all the tests did not get passed. Now the second approach is, okay, let's multiply everything and then divide by the particular number, because if we divide, then we will get the remaining product. Then it works for those elements which doesn't contain zero, but it fails for those elements which contain zero, because if we are giving zero modulus error. So to solve the zero modulus error, we put this like, okay, if it is not equal to zero, then do that. All right. Then again, still we are getting the wrong error. Then still we are getting the wrong error. Then because the product we want zero, because right, but still we are getting error. So what we can do is, so we put so we can calculate the zero count. So in the initial zero count is zero, and else zero count plus is equal to 1. So we are calculating the zero count, like how the total number of zero. So here what we can do is, if so what we can do is basically, we have to put the condition. So when we have to do this is like basically, when the if zero count is equal to zero. So if zero count is equal to zero, then we have to do this. So in this case, this is going to work, because if the zero count is zero, then what we have to do? Whatever the current index, we have to just divide total product by that. It's going to work. L if zero count equal to 1, if there is a one zero count, and nums of I equal to 0. So if nums of I equal to 0, we can't divide. uh, like uh, uh, for the remaining element, it will be automatically 0. So we are going to update with the total product. Else if there are two zero, then we can say answer of I is equal to 0. Update everything with the 0. So let's try to run that. Now our both the cases has been accepted. So let's try to submit it. So our solution has been accepted. But if you read this question, they said don't do without the division operator. So how we can do that? So let's remove this. So they said don't do without using the division operator and within a single loop. Even though we done it within a single loop, but we use the division operator. So now let's try to find out how to do without the division operator. So if you look at this example, so let's suppose you are here. You are here. Now, to update this index in the output array, you need the product of all these elements. All right. So all these elements. And if, okay, now let me rub it. Now, if you are here, Now you need the product of their left side and their right hand side. Right, so you need the product of their left side and their right hand side. So the same logic we are going to do that. So we will use some extra space. We will use some extra space. You can say prefix and postfix. So because to update this like element, we need the prefix product, we need the postfix product. If we have the prefix product and we have the postfix product, then we can just multiply that. All right, now the question is how we are going to calculate the prefix and the postfix product. Okay, so first thing is that we need the output array. So let's calculate the n is equal to length of nums, which is normal, and answer array is equal to 1 star n. Okay, now we need the prefix array and the postfix array. Okay, so let's take prefix array. Prefix products is equal to 1 star n, and postfix product is equal to 1 star n. Okay, but how we are going to first calculate the prefix product? So we need to generate this array. So how we are going? So when we are at this index, what is its prefix? What is its prefix? Nothing, nothing. All right. So we will update with the one. So we are going to update with the one. So when we are at, so let me rub this. All right. When we are at this index, So sorry. When we are at this index, now what is its prefix? Prefix product. Prefix product is one. Prefix product is one. So we update its prefix product with one. Okay. Now when we are at this index, because we already know the prefix product, when we are at this index, so prefix product is the previous element 2 and the previous prefix product is 1. So 2 into 1, 2. When we are at this index, what is the previous product? Previous product is 3 multiplied 2. 3 multiplied 2 is equal to 6. So let's create the prefix array. So for I in range of n, okay. So for the first element, prefix products of I is equal to what we have to update 1, but rather than we can take some element prefix product. So it is prefix product and it is prefix products. So we have to update with prefix product because for the first element there is no prefix, so we will update with the 1 because nothing is there, for the first element, so we update with the 1, which is fine. So for the first element, for I in range n, for the first element we update the prefix product 1. But if you just only keep this logic for the second element, again we are going to update the prefix product, that is 1, but which is wrong. It means as soon as we update, we are going to update the prefix product as well, because we are updating the particular index with this variable, so we have to update this variable. So prefix product is equal to prefix product multiply by nums of I. So whatever the current index. So when we are here, prefix product is 1 and the current index is also 1. So we are going to update the elements. So in this way, we are going to calculate. Now we have to calculate the postfix product. So let's let's copy paste and put here. Instead of prefix, we need postfix. 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 But how we are going to calculate the postfix product? So for the postfix product, we will start from the end. We will start from the end. All right. So for this element, what is the postfix? What is the postfix product? Nothing. Zero. So we are going to update with the one. Right. So we are going to update with the one. So we are going to start from the reverse. All right. So for the first element, for the last element, postfix product is one, which is fine because we are the four. For the last element, what is the postfix product? Nothing. All right. So postfix product is one. Okay. When it is here, what is the postfix product? Postfix product is this four multiply by the all the postfix product till now. All the postfix products till now is one. So four multiply by four. So when we are this element, what is the postfix product? So what is the postfix product? So all the postfix product till now, which is four, and this element three, fourth is a 12. All right. So basically, we have to update the our postfix array. We already updated that. Now now we know the prefix product. Now we know the postfix product. So we for the current index, we have the prefix, we have the postfix. So for the current index, we have the prefix, we have the postfix. Now our solution is completed. Now we will just multiply. So how we are going to update? So for the first index, for the current index, what we are going to do is we will take the prefix product 1, we will take the posterior product 24, 1, 24, 24. So for the next element, we will take the prefix product, which is 12. Sorry, for prefix product, which is 1, and the posterior product is 12. So 12 into 1, 12. Okay, the next element 3, we will take the prefix product. Prefix product is 2. Postfix product is also like 4. 4 to the 8, 8. So in this way, we are going to update our element. So let's do that. So for I in range of nums, so we have to update our answer element, and answer element should be prefix product, prefix product multiply by prefix product, basically multiply by positive products of I. That's it. And we have to return the answer. So run it. So list object cannot be interpreted as an integer. Okay, so here it should be n. Okay, so our sample case has been submitted. So let's try to submit all the test cases. So our solution has been accepted. But if you see, the time is okay. The time is okay because we are like doing an O of n, because here is a single loop, here is also a single loop, here is also a single loop. So we are doing an O of n. But we are using two extra spaces. We are using two extra spaces, which is perfectly fine because in this question, they have did not say you can't use the extra space. They said, can you write the algorithm in O of n? Yes, it's O of n. Can you do it without division operator? Yes, we are not using the division operator. But there is a follow-up question. There is a follow-up question in this case. Okay. So now you already completed this question. Can you do like without using extra space complexity? So, right. So can you do it without using extra space? So that is also possible. So, but we are not going to do that in this video. But how that possible is, so instead of taking these two element, these two you can say extra arrays, prefix and postfix product, because this answer array is also empty. We initialize, but this is empty. So again, we are updating prefix product because anyhow the answer array we are anyhow updating. All right. So can't we like instead of prefix product, can't we use the answer array? Can't we? If we use the answer array, right? So then we are excluding this space, right? Then the our space is even more or less same for the postfix product, but we have to do a little bit code modification that we will do. But if you want to reduce some space, not the whole space, some space, then you can use the answer array, right? But if you want to reduce all the space, we have to calculate the prefix, we have to calculate the postfix product, but we have to update in the same array but here some logic is going to be changed. Prefix will be remain same, but for the prefix, a little modification is going to be changed. But we will do in some other video. But as part of this question, like whatever they want, we did that. So the question is like really easy. First, we did brute force because we run two loops and we will calculate the products. Then we will do okay, we will try okay division operator. So for the division operator, we will take the products of all the element, then we will divide by the current element. But we found if there is a zero, we are getting some division by zero error. Then we have to calculate the number of zeros, so we put some logic based upon our requirement to calculate the zero. And if there are two zero, then we will, it means all the elements will be zero. If there is a one zero, then the particular element should not be zero, and the rest elements will be zero. So we have to calculate the number of zero. And but still we are using the division operator. But the question says we don't, you have to use the division operator for that. So if you need the, if you have to update this element, so we need the previous and we need the postfix. So we need the prefix and we need the postfix. So first calculate, just run one loop, just one loop, and update the prefix and the postfix elements on the current index. All right, so that's it. That's the end of the video, and thank you.